a bad diet and weight in the US. It's terrible. I hate the state that things are in with people's health. Genuinely. And I'm all for people loving themselves as well. So it's like tough because, you have a friend who's unhealthy. Me personally, I want to tell them you're unhealthy and you need to do something, right? But then there's the emotional component outside of just you being concerned for their health and maybe them being concerned for their health of just like their own self-image and everything. So it's not a topic you can necessarily broach with a lot of your friends, even if you're very close. Or they'll be like, I know. And then they know, right? Because who doesn't know? Very few people don't know that they're in a bad situation or that it's not good for them. So, because everyone tells you, everyone, your doctor, everyone tells you it's unhealthy. I feel like it's kind of out of my hands. So it's not really something I can help a lot of friends with. And the thing you can help people with is usually something that takes a lot of personal time, right? Like usually someone needs an accountability buddy to eat better and to exercise more. So what? You can help one person if you make them your accountability buddy and that you help them push through, which is like not always a high chance. It's like, it's super ineffective. It's not efficient, right? At this point, I'm just like, I can't help people. I can just tell friends, yo, I'm worried for you. I can't help you though. I could just tell you that I wish you would do what's right for you health-wise. And that's it. That's like the most you can say. And even that feels like, why even say it? Like, surely they know. But sometimes they don't. I have had friends where I've like talked to them, discussed with them certain things, and just basically broached it as like, I'm asking you if you want me to help you be accountable at all or no. Because there are some friends who they would say, you know what? If we are out, I will not feel bad if you see me like thinking about ordering something and you suggest something else. I'm giving you the permission to like do that to remind me. Because in the moment, I just order whatever, right? Like, depends on the person's issue on what's with them. Or if they're ordering too much and I'm just sitting there going, I think you should just get this one thing, right? If you do that unprompted, you're a f***ing asshole, right? If you do that unprompted to somebody, weird. But if you talk to your friend first about how you're worried about them and then say, do you want me to do something like that or no? Some people might say yes. I've had friends say yes to that sort of thing. But like, you know what? Yes, because you don't say it like in a crazy way, right? There is that, but I feel like that's kind of the most you can do a lot of the time. I don't know. It's tough. You got family members who say, oh, you're eating all that. Wow. Yeah, I think for family, I give family a pass to be extra judgmental on each other and to push each other because the intent 9 times out of 10, not always, 9 times out of 10 is to help that person better themselves. And I know it like sucks to hear certain things from them, but if it's not worded too crazily and it's just generally them calling a thing out in the moment, I think getting called out in the moment is more effective for people than anything. I could have all the talks with a friend in the world about how I wish they took better care of themselves, but unless I'm literally telling them while they're about to eat something or like while they're saying, maybe I won't go to the gym and I go, you gotta go or something like that. Like people don't really correct their behavior unless it's like in the moment they feel some sort of push, right? That's why it's helpful, it's effective, but it's also a topic you gotta like get permission to be like that about beforehand, One of my closest friends for a long time, she couldn't control it because she had a major thyroid issue. So she was one of those people that she could diet as much as she wanted. It did not matter. Her body retained whatever it could, and it just would not allow her to shed weight because she had a major, major thyroid problem. And she was working on doing what she could, trying to medicate, etc. to like help it out. But it was at a point where like, you kind of can't do something past a certain point. And with her, like, I would never comment on it, never ever, because I'm like, this is nothing. If anything, I would encourage her to like eat a little more sometimes because I would be like, I know your body retains a lot of this, but you need like normal energy too, right? Like don't think about that. Just count the number of what you're taking in and just go with that. Don't think about what you look like at all and just make sure you're good. Do thyroid issues work both ways? Yes. Just depends on what your issue is. So with hers, she would retain so much weight and it was like, again, did not matter what she did. She was eventually able to control it when they found the right kind of mix of medications and habits and things, but it took so many years for her to do that. It was insane. Absolutely insane. Ooh, you said you went to the doctor last week and have lost 78 pounds in September. Huge. Okay. That's a lot, especially in that time frame. That's a really good pace. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know. I think a lot of it usually just boils down to how you're taught or what you're used to, right? Everyone's got their body reacting the way it does to what they take in. Everyone's a little different and you just have to experiment. You just have to think. I think, in America especially, we're just not taught to be mindful, right? To be mindful of this stuff and to be eating and thinking about what we're eating while we're doing it. People just get whatever when they get it, right? That's it. It's just like a I don't want to call it a laziness thing. It's a not being mindful thing in most cases. You have to like want it though. It's one of those things where to become mindful about something, to change a habit, right? Like maybe it's an eating habit, maybe it's exercise, whatever it is. You have to think about it. And to get yourself to think about something, you have to like it or be into the idea of it, right? That's why I think this age is the best time for this stuff because you can watch YouTubers and influencers and take in content of the thing that you want to be more like. So if you watch like fitness influencers because you can't get yourself into fitness and you just keep going until you find one that you enjoy watching, and then eventually that can sort of kickstart you a little. Like it's possible to find that nowadays. So I think that's huge. That makes it a lot easier to do stuff compared to how it used to be. Yeah, you can sort of immerse yourself. Exactly. You could choose to immerse yourself with something. Maybe you watch a lot of the Olympics clips. Maybe you watch a lot of sport related stuff. You know what I mean? Like just kind of like you can fill your time with it. That's the best way to like change it up, you know? The issue in America is a lot of meals are calorically dense and cheap while not super nutritious. Yeah, but what are we talking about? Are we talking about food that we make at home? Because there's so much choice. Even if you're lower income, there's still so much choice. What are people eating is my question. If you're going out to eat, depending on where you live, there's not really a lot of option. But if you're at home, brother, you gotta learn to cook differently. You know, is American food really that bad? I'm European, by the way. You know what's really that bad? Stuff in the snack aisle. Stuff in the snack aisle and like some pre-prepared meals and things. All the stuff you shouldn't be looking at anyway if you're trying to get healthier. Genuinely. I understand it's convenient, but you can change what you do and what you make and how you do it to keep it convenient. Pan, sheet meals, and rice cooker. Exactly, dude. You can make a tiny portion of rice in a rice cooker, okay? Not too much, just whatever you need. And then you can just buy meat, okay? Like pretty much any cut works. Buy some meat, slice it, heat up some broth, and have hot pot. Done. You throw some vegetables in it. You throw some meat in the broth and you eat it. Like it's the easiest in the world, right? You can just pan sear all that stuff too. Very quickly pan sear it and you're fine. You can pan sear pretty much almost anything. You just have to change up what you know about cooking. I think that's really it. Our foods are also crap quality even from the store. Most bread in the US could not be legally sold as bread in Europe. It's like not always that bad though. There are a lot of brands that are good now. Here's what I think. You can sit there and blame the quality of things all you want. But at the end of the day, you should be in the produce section as much as you can. Buying frozen vegetables, right? Don't buy anything that's like pre-anything. You should be buying as much produce you can, just packages of meat. Yeah, don't buy a soup in a can if you can avoid it. Make your own. It's super easy, crazy easy. And there's so many YouTube channels nowadays that show you incredibly easy recipes, like insanely easy, that there's no excuse to not learn this stuff. Soup in a can is unavoidable. No, it's not. It's very avoidable. That's the thing. You buy nothing but prepackaged things, Lamau. That's the thing, right? A lot of people are in that habit. You just have to get out of that habit. That's it. You want the greatest tomato bisque ever? You get tomatoes, you cut them apart a little bit, and you put them on a pan. And then you cut up an onion, and you throw it on the same pan. Spread it out on a sheet pan. You chop up some garlic. Could do whole cloves. Throw it on the same sheet pan. And then you bake it. You just roast it in the oven or under the broiler for a bit until it's cooked but not burnt. Then you take it out and blend it. You have a tomato soup and it's really good. Done. Most soups are like that where you can just cook some on a pan and then blend it and add cream or water or nothing depending on what it is. And then you freeze it and now you have tons of it for like forever. A lot of this stuff is so easy. But you know what I think the biggest issue is? I'm going to be honest. Anyone that I've been close friends with or family members that have had weight issues, I've noticed that for most of them, not all of them, a lot of the time, it's not so much what they're eating. What they're eating is still important to change up, but how much is the issue. Their portion control isn't there. I think you could eat a lot of the stuff in American food aisles that's crap and be okay if you control the portions better. But I think it's so easy. Just like how you get used to food being saltier or more sweet, over time, the volume you can also get very used to. And I think a lot of people just don't realize the volume that they're eating is the problem.
Share recipes
right?
in the Discord if you need ideas.
We do. I think that's the biggest issue because, like for example, let's use McDonald's as an example because it's so universal. If you go to McDonald's and you're an average sized person, like height wise, you should go to McDonald's and be able to order one meal and not want to order more than that.
Hey.
You should be able to go to McDonald's, order one normal meal of like one burger, some fries, and a drink. The drink is honestly like the biggest issue with the calories there. But you should be able to order that burger and those fries in like a large if you're bigger, a medium if you're a normal height person, and be okay with that. And if you're like, oh my God, I need like 3 more things, I need 2 more things, you don't. And I think if you can just learn what those portions are properly for the foods that you really like to eat and follow them, you wouldn't have to really change too much of what you're eating, right? I think the problem is a lot of marketing for products tells you like that what you're eating is the problem, which again, it can be for certain people. But it's really simple. Calories in, calories out is what has you gaining or losing weight more than anything else. So if you just took in a little less or you burned a little more past a certain threshold, you would be losing. That's literally it. So I think for a lot of people, it's set up in their heads as this crazy daunting thing. But I think you should start with, don't change your habits of what you're eating, just cut down the amount a little bit first and see how much that changes. Because I think trying to change your day, trying to learn cooking, trying to change what you're buying and what you're used to, all of this is so daunting, and you're gonna stress yourself out doing that. I think it's still worth it learning eventually, but you should do that slowly, right? You should just do that slowly. Instead, you look at what you're eating and figure out like, how much of this am I supposed to have per day if I'm eating like this, right? Use calculators, use whatever it is, or just look at what you do eat and just cut down a little and just see what happens, right? I think that would have like the biggest effect for a lot of people, but we're not taught to do that because everyone's trying to sell you products. Everyone's trying to be like, oh, eat this, it's a healthier version. If you buy these little cookies that are super low calorie, but then you eat a ton of them because they're so good, you're still gonna take in a lot of calories because you ate so many, right? You could eat all the Oreos you want, just don't eat the whole sleeve, right? Eat like a small amount. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think it's corporations genuinely trying to sell you on their and making it worse for you because they're trying to tell you that what it is the problem and not just how much. You know what I mean? I think they're tricking you and making it worse for you and they don't care about you. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, like some people said, first thing you cut are sugary drinks. You don't need to change a damn thing other than that. Just anything that's using like, real sugars, not fake sugars, etc. Anything that might make you gain weight potentially in drink form, cut that first before anything, or swap out if you have like, a creamer that has a lot of sugar in it, maybe swap that for something that doesn't, whatever it is. That's the first thing. And so many people see a pretty big difference just from that because it's just the volume of calories from what they're drinking, right? Again, it's just like calories in, calories out. That's it. Yeah, don't drink your calories. It's not worth it. It's so dense with calories that it just undoes any progress you might be making, like it undoes any other good you might be doing with your diet. Cut soda and you lost 15 pounds in a couple months. Yeah. Would something like Gamer Subs be a good alternative? Genuinely curious. Yes. The part of the reason why I'm a proponent of those kinds of things is because a lot of people just can't get themselves to drink only water. They want something flavored, whatever it is, right? That's what they're used to. So what you should do is try to replace what you're used to with something else that is still good. And with Gamer Subs, yeah, they don't put actual sugar in there. A lot of their drinks are 0 or incredibly low calorie, no sugar. So genuinely, yes, you can use that and try to use that to replace the stuff that you're drinking that's like bad, Oh, alcohol is another one. Yeah. So do you have a coworker who cut alcohol and lost 80 pounds over the past year? Yes. Because a lot of fermented stuff, especially, is so high calorie. It's crazy. Gamer Subs helped you go from 4 sodas a day to none. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. I think if you just start with what you're drinking first, you'll cut down that number of what you're taking in, the number of calories, so much. Gamer Subs and sparkling water is your full soda replacement. Ooh, putting in sparkling water is a good idea. Yeah, do be careful with the energy variant. Yeah. Mix it with, they make ones that are just hydrating, so you don't have to be taking in a lot of caffeine. Because I think if you have some per day, you have an okay amount of caffeine, right? It's not too bad. But if you're using it to replace soda and you drink a lot of soda and then you start to drink a lot of Gamer Subs, you might end up with a lot of caffeine in you. So yeah, just go for the hydrating ones as well. Make sure you have both so you don't like overdo it. I like the hydrating ones. I don't really drink too many of the caffeinated ones. If I do, it's only in the morning a little bit and then that's it. Sparkling water weans off soda. I think you go non-carbonated. So something that is also very sugary is stuff like apple juice. Fruit juices can also be very sugary, but there are brands that have less sugar than others. They don't have added sugar. It is just, the fruit. And you can get ones that, especially with like apple juice, right? You can get ones that taste a little more tart. They're a little less sweet. Maybe it's a variety of apple that has less sugar. You can wean yourself off by drinking so some people, the carbonation is part of the craving. So if you stay with like a super sugary fruit juice, that's like, probably almost as bad as a soda, but it's non-carbonated. You can use that to wean yourself off of carbonated stuff because it will hit some of the same, and then from there you wean further. Then you take down less acidity, less whatever. And you just keep going, and eventually you can get yourself to water. Like you can. Me personally, though, what I'll say is I think you should just cold turkey. It's all so bad. And I think the best thing you could do with your life is just don't even have that shit in the house. Just stop buying it. So when you're home and there's nothing to drink but water, you're gonna drink water. And then you got what? Powdered gamer subs that goes in water. You want flavor? Okay, here's a thing with no sugar. It's not acidic. There you go. That's it. All you get, you know?